guys. I'm Joe with Northern Colorado Veterans Network, and I want to thank you both for coming out here to be a part of our first Spotlight segment for this networking event. We just did this today with Crooked Beach out here in Loveland. Like all of our events, we bounce back and forth from Greeley, Loveland, and Longmont, different locations, but still get the same group of people, new guests, and new veterans, which is the whole point.
Really
I want to, again, thank you guys for coming out here. If you could introduce yourselves real quick.
I am Dr. Brian Beasy. I am the CEO and Executive Director of Veteran Buddy System.
And I'm Brianna Woodruff. I'm your VP of Veteran Buddy System.
Perfect. Well, I, again, want to thank you guys for coming out here. I got a couple questions for you guys. Founding and mission. Can you share the story behind how your organization was created, what inspired its founding, and what gap were you hoping to fill for veterans?
I think for me, the biggest thing was a lack of purpose when I got out. Coming from the world of intensity that the military, especially the Marine Corps, has, and going into a world like corporate America or trying to be an entrepreneur, there is no guidance, there's no mentorship. And I was frustrated because there was nobody that was willing to take the time, because when you're out in the civilian world, people are doing individual achievement, and therefore it's very hard for them to cut time out of their schedule and dedicate it to you and help you grow. So that and the TAPS program that the Marine Corps offered was just no good. You got 30-year veterans of the Marine Corps living in a Marine Corps based town that have never been work in, say, Philadelphia, Detroit, or New York. And they can't tell you what the tempo is there. And I was working in New York City, and nothing of what they told me was good. And I just thought, we can do better. We can help guide them. And I mean, I have a plethora of the degrees now because I didn't have that mentorship. And I think we can help encourage and empower veterans a lot easier than having them go to college for 16 degrees to do the same thing in a short amount of time and get them out in the workforce where they can be leaders and make a difference.
Quick question. Do you guys help veterans navigate the education system through the VA, like trying to get school to get paid for, things like that? And either one of you can answer this.
Oh, no, you're good.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Absolutely. I have actually been through voc rehab myself because I wanted to switch careers, and I got an MBA. I ended up graduating first in my class and being the commencement speaker. So again, accomplishments, but it is a murky water. You have to write up an application. You have to give a personal statement of why you want to do it, and that's not very easy. One thing that I have definitely come across, and this is another reason for our mission, is communication. Veterans don't know how to articulate skills into real-world transferable skills. So that's one way we try to help, and I think that's going to attribute to success for getting these educational benefits, as well as VA benefits for health and so forth. Being able to communicate your problems and where you want to be. So that's where we help.
Perfect. Thank you. Do you have anything to touch on that subject with?
I back everything Brian says. I mean, Air Force veteran here. From going through the TAPS program to getting out, honestly, I was overwhelmed. I didn't know what resources to look for, where to begin. So it's that mission and that vision that, we see at Veteran Buddy System, to really mentor people, to show them the resources that not only they know about, but that they don't know about. You don't know what you need unless you know what's out there.
You don't know what you don't know.
Exactly. And that's why we're here. Not only, like Brian said, to mentor you, to help you through the system, but to help give you access to those resources that you don't know yet, so you can find out what your plan is and to move forward. And I didn't have that. So it's our mission and our goal to really set people up for success and guide them to where they want to be.
Give them the answers that you wish you had had when you first started going through the maze of the VA system.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, and just yeah, and basic interview skills. You know, in the military, we all have, like I said, mentors. We have a shop for everything. You know, S1 takes care of admin, S2 intelligence, S3 something with that, and then S4 logistics. I mean, you have all these places that you know to go to. And oh, you're feeling sick, go to medical. Oh, you need this taken, go to main side and do this. In the civilian world, good luck.
I mean, if you think about it, you go from a very, you know, it's all nothing but structure, and you get out and there's no structure. So to
Yeah.
have that structure continue from when you're in to while you're transitioning out, and even after that, will really help. It'll help keep a purpose to a lot of our military that are getting out and turning into veterans.
Perfect. Thank you. So my next question is, every business or foundation starts with a why. What was the driving mission or personal motivation that led to starting this work for veterans?
This is my almost the logo, so to speak. So we take, I think the easiest way, the purpose is to take ordinary people that went on to be veterans, military, did extraordinary things, saw extraordinary things that the rest of the world will never ever do nor see. And then they're forced to go back to a world of ordinary, and they don't know what to do with it, because how do you go from that lifestyle and acclimate into something that's nowhere near the intensity? So what we try to do is not handhold, but empower these people that did great things so that they can be even more successful in the after post-service life.
They just need a mentor, a guide, someone that'll walk them through what they need to do to keep on track.
A spirit guide for the
Yeah, I
VA
mean,
system.
if you think about it, spirit guide.
I think the other thing too is the other thing to that is when you go in 17, 18, 19, and then you get out like 22, 23, 24, like me, I got out at 27. You're in your formative adult years. So everything you're doing is now imprinted. It's your part way of life, and you're not going to lose that. I can't lose it. Everybody knows that when I walk in a room, they know I'm a Marine just by the way I carry myself. And you can tell, like, who's Air Force, who's Navy, who's Army, by the way they carry themselves, and it's their attitude and how they approach things. You're never going to lose that because it's imprinted. Now, what we need to do is just take that and channel it into a world that's just, like she said, totally unstructured.
No, I love that. It reminds me of a joke. Do you know how do you tell if somebody's a Marine? Don't worry, they'll tell you.
I always thought it was the box of crayons I always saw him carrying around. But I mean, that
half-eaten.
works too.
What specific services, programs, or opportunities do you provide to veterans, and how do those directly impact their transition to civilian life?
So, like I said, mentorship is a very big thing. And the programs that we have are, we look at the veteran as an individual project. 20 years in tech world, working for Fortune 500 companies, doing $1 million projects. I know how to manage projects, and they are a project. Now, what they don't know, and what most of us don't know when we get out, is there's a plethora of organizations that are out there. In the project management world, we call those resources to get the project done. So we're trying to get the veteran from point A to point B and use those resources to help them get there, like resume writing or job skills training, anything of that in between. And we can guide them to enough, but ultimately these resources are the experts in their fields. Anything you want to add to that?
No, I mean, not only, he says their projects. You have to remember these are our own brothers and sisters, and we're here to help guide them directly to those resources that they need, whether it be the VA, resource centers, whether it be your local employment offices, or let's say you need help babysitting or education office. So many things, or even help getting your car fixed or moving from town to town, and connecting even with resources abroad. It's that's what we're here for. Those are the types of resources that we work with, and that's just hitting the surface to making sure they get connected with them, and then really being able to hear their success story after, as a brother and sister, that we all serve together and now we're all successful.
I think that's great. No, and it's surprising how many benefits, how many programs are actually out there that veterans don't know about, and it's good that there's a group like your like Veteran Buddy System that's there to point, either give you the answer right there or point you in the direction of the answer. Like no matter what, I'm gonna find you what you need. I think that's great what you guys are doing. Next question. In terms of outcomes, what kind of success stories or measurable results have you seen since launching your organization?
Oh, you got this, Brian.
So one in particular, Savannah, can't give her last name. She was struggling to adjust to civilian life from the Air Force. She had access to TS, top secret clearance. So she had access to some pretty nifty stuff. And now again, she's going into the world of the ordinary. Doesn't know what she wants to do. She's a single mother, just lost in the sauce, as they say. And what we did is Brianna and I think our whole group as a whole, listened to what she wanted to do, got her on a plan, and she's now attending grad school to do something with satellites. It's intricate, she wrote like a really great review that I didn't even ask for. She just offered it up and said what it is to have us help her and make her feel not alone. Because as a single mother, she was feeling very isolated from the rest of the world, and they didn't know what to do with her because they're like, oh, you're just, you're being negligent about your life and life choices. And that's not it. It's not it. We just need a direction to go. And a lot of times that's all that needs. It's like you'll find an officer that gets out and he's like, I don't know what to do with myself. But then you give him a list of things and it's a checklist. And all of a sudden, off to the running. And
He's got that structure back, so he knows exactly where to go.
Exactly.
He just needed those tools.
And then, there's the other people that have a little bit of a harder time acclimating. But again, frustration only gets you so far, and we as veterans have endured some pretty horrible things. This is nothing different. And in fact, it's actually better because the food's better, at least for us Marines. So
Do you have anything else on that?
No, I mean, I'd say we're just we're motivated to help others. We're all family. We're brother and sisters at arms. We're here to help them find the resources they need. And if there's a resource we don't know, we're gonna go learn. We're gonna go find out with them, so we can all succeed together. That's what we want to see. We want to see veterans get out, get housed, have a job, or go into start their own business, education, whatever makes them happy. And not even that, the community, getting involved back into their community, whether it be hiking, skydiving. I got the luxury of skydiving with other veterans. And I mean, I want to go do it again, honestly, but it's just
Same.
Yeah,
No.
right.
I think that's the biggest thing is getting vets around other veterans.
Yes,
Yeah.
and we aren't taught that. We aren't shared what these resources are when we get out. I had to go find this on my own. I've been out of the military now for 5 years, and I'm still learning what's out there. So that's why we're here. That's why we're mission driven, to help others.
I love that.
Yeah, I think to add to that is we're trying to make sure that people are not making the same mistakes that we did when we went through our follies. And one thing I also want to set upon is making sure they're using the right organizations, not these chop shop VA shops that will charge them an absurd amount of money to do services that they barely do anything for. So we want to protect them from that stuff.
Many veterans face challenges in areas like employment, mental health, or community connection. Which of those areas do you focus on most and why?
To go into a little bit deeper than what we said previously is that we give them a community. Why is that community important? Because it allows them to see that they're not the only ones thinking like that.
Yeah.
They're not the only ones having that problem. I mean, I was out for 7 years before I had a conversation with a Marine because I just didn't want to talk about military. I wanted to compartmentalize that as a part of my past instead of being proud of it. But then I started talking to this guy just one day, working with him, and I was sitting there going, "You too? No way." And then the next thing I know, we've got 14 of the same things that we were doing that were counterintuitive to moving forward and what we've done to kind of get past those. It's important that they don't think they're insane or they're mentally unfit because that leads to suicide. So giving them that grounding, that community will help get them back into the workforce, getting them into entrepreneurship and just better way of life.
Even with the mental health services, when it comes to therapy, talking to someone, physical care, I tell you what, getting out, I've done all those things now. Going to talk to a therapist, they've got the in-community care where I've gotten massages or acupunctures for my chronic pain, my headaches. So knowing that they have those resources out there, there's nothing to be ashamed about. Like, they have genuinely helped me in reintegrating to actually living my life and getting back into the community because I know the resources to help me take care of me, and now I can go help take care of others.
Nice. Thank you. Thanks for sharing that. How do you ensure your programs continue to grow and adapt to the changing needs of today's veterans?
First answer would be a roadmap. I think a lot of organizations don't do that, and they should, because as the world changes, so do the veterans' needs. And if you don't see yourself in a 3 to 5 year roadmap, what are you doing? You're just being cyclical, in my opinion. And we're kind of an organization that thinks outside that box. We go like she said, we don't take no for an answer. We use tenacity and ways to be more creative in getting things done that haven't worked in the past. So if you have, for example, like suicides, if 133 veterans kill themselves in a week, are the steps that people are taking now working? The answer is no. So you got to try something different. And that's how a roadmap allows us to be structured in that growth organically.
But at the same time, Brian, we have open ears to hear what the veterans have to say. So as we keep that structure, we have that open mind and we want to retweak everything we can, hearing the veteran voices. That's how we get better too.
Being malleable.
Adaptive.
I was exactly going to say that.
Adaptive.
No, that's great.
But that's what they teach us in the military, right? Always be adaptive.
Yep. Adapt and overcome.
Yeah.
Semper Gumby. Always flexible.
Collaboration often makes the biggest difference. What kinds of partnerships or community involvement does your organization engage in to support veterans?
What don't we get involved in?
I don't. Yeah, it's. We're involved. I got our fingers in everything, and just growing. Yeah,
That's
growing.
Just one.
Growing organically, and then outside of that, getting the word out, going, the business to business. If they have any veterans that work for them, get them in touch with us. The police forces, the EMTs, any of those people. Get the word out.
Even just talking to the veterans themselves.
Yeah.
Veterans, businesses, networking events. anything that we can find where we can go talk to other people and show them who we are, as well as get to know who they are. That's the best part too. I mean, yeah, you get to learn about me, but I want to learn everything I can about you and what you have to offer everyone, so I can share what it is, uh, who who they are to others.
Last two questions, more lighthearted note. If your foundation were a military unit, what would its motto or call sign be?
Well, it's under our logo, actually. It says, your next mission, from service to success, we have your six. Well, we've got your six, grammatically.
I love that. You got any funny ones you can think of?
Honestly, my brain's fried from it being the end of day.
No,
But
perfect.
if I had a call sign, it'd probably be like Mama Bear One. Because honestly, that's my mentality though.
I'm keeping that in.
I love to
That's
take
gonna go.
care of the people around me. So Mama Bear, that'd be my call sign.
Looking ahead, what excites you most about the future of your organization and the impact that can continue to have on veterans and their families?
Overall, success. I would like to see more veterans in the corporate world. I don't see a lot of them in there, and they need to get in there so we can start practicing a model of servant leadership and growing teams instead of stepping on them.
Well, not only like corporations, but even
But just in
trade
general,
schools,
yeah,
too.
trade schools, entrepreneurship. I mean, anything that's successful.
We just want to see their dreams come alive. That's the best part of it, because we get to hear about the success.
Yeah, I mean, in essence, a veteran took a step off that bus. It was a big step. If you're willing to do that, you should be able to be willing to put yourself out there and run a business, or, ascend to the top of another business, or just do something that be the best welder out there, which is a great profession, I might add.
In plumbing.
100K a year. So, yeah, plumbing, 100K a year. So don't just think I'm going to run a shop. Be entrepreneurial in expansion. Like, make it the biggest plumbing place out there. Better than Roto-Rooter. So,
Trust me, a lot of these employers too are looking for hard workers. So
yeah.
let us help you get to where you want to be.
That's why I'm glad I was able to have you guys on here. I love what y'all are doing. And again, I appreciate you guys for coming out here, being a part of the networking event, on top of joining us on our first Spotlight segment.
Well, thank you for having us,
Yeah.
Joe.
No, thank you guys so much.